Hey, I want to talk about NDA and just sharing your work, sharing your ideals. And it's an interesting topic because I have been a part of, as an artist, I work in very solitaire, very uncomfortable situations lots of times. And so I don't have a big social network, especially since I do art. And that doesn't really relate to a lot of people in my environment. I do what I do, especially here in Buffalo, New York, there's not the big 3D artist group. I actually used to run an artist group, or used to be moderator for an artist group at the City Court building in New York City for at the Apple headquarters when they were there. I don't know if they were there, but it was at a time when things were really changing. So I had ran a group there, and I would be a moderator and show and share, and we had these big discussion groups, and so we would show and share information and share. So then I was part of a group, a smaller group, through them that would go on discussion boards and share uh, projects, files, and everything else like that. And so that was an interesting group, but it was also comprised of different people that I had never met. And so behind the internet, you had an anonymity that makes it very difficult to deal with people on a social level sometimes, especially in a very tight kind of thing where you go uh, a group discussion board, you don't see or meet or don't understand the mannerisms in which people talk. So things can go awry. Things can be taken the wrong way, and you might not even be thinking about it. So that was kind of tough situation. So after that, I got on YouTube, and then I started showing my work, and a lot of the ideas, there's a lot of big wigs out there just trying to make money. They're not, oftentimes with my work, I'm motivated by discovering the joy of the work and the creativity and the freedom and the expression, whereas they're just trying to make a buck. So they're in the industry where they can do it and they have the funds, the backing, and stuff like that. So, and it might not even be an industry that I'm really all that interested in, but still, the fact of the matter is that they're looking for anything they can find, to bring culture. And when you're on a YouTube, they have kind of almost like a direct connect there. So they're looking to model themselves after people who are motivated for the actual raw street kind of thing, straight from the demographic. So so anyhow, so then I moved on to Facebook because that got annoying. That got annoying with the YouTube, and so I'm doing this vlog today because I realized it's been quite a while since I did a video. But now I have a Facebook group. I share ideas and workflows and things like that, and it's really interesting because some of the workflows that I deal with and stuff are just generally, you have with software different flows and workflows and features and stuff like that, and pretty much it's common knowledge. And so I don't mind sharing things that are common knowledge, but certain things that I do usually have a certain flavor of my own content in it, or my own ideas, my own research, and things like that. Now that stuff I'm not so happy, or that I would prefer people not be so privy to. So and certain things I'm working on for other people, which I cannot share whatsoever, and because it is their work and is their client, they pay for the research, they pay for the production, they pay for everything. So that kind of stuff, I am not privy, even though it's not my work. It's not my work. Just a hired gun producing a project for them, and so I'm not able, or would even, even though I like to share and would be and excited about it, but really that would be like giving away trade secrets and jobs and stuff like that. So to distinguish what is, good to give away and what isn't is so oftentimes, something that is a real gray area for me. And so, so, and now I'm getting to the point that, so with clients, I understand it. I mean, I even got in a situation where I produced like a robot rig for somebody. It was a very cool rig. And so it was just really cool rig. I did a lot of innovations, but it was that person's character did it for very little money. And they never produced the work. And they never created it. And so usually when I work on something, it's not going to be very long before it's published. And then once it's published, you can share it. There's no problem. It's a finished work. It's already hit their market. And so they're done. So it's okay for them to share. And usually I'm aching to share because I'm so happy about the work. And so that kind of stuff I like to share. But I got into a situation where this rig was never published. The work was never done. They probably threw it on a back burner, and it's been that way for years. And so I like to share it, but I can't. And probably never will. I'm happy that I came across another client where I did another rig, and it was a very cool rig for Puma, and it was immediately produced and put out there and hit the market, and it was okay for me to share it and information once because it was public at that point. So, and I got paid a lot of money for it. So it kind of offsets the ones that I don't. So it's hard to judge when is it good to share and when it's not. Currently, I'm working on things where the techniques and the motivations are things I can do. I can't really share it. So there's certain things I'm working on for David. It was my buddy in New York. And so, and that's for his client. So I definitely can't share it because it's his client, even though it's some of the coolest stuff that I've done. I feel real good about it. And some of the technologies I'm using for myself, so I can do it, is basically because I have the technology and I develop it. And then I can offer it to his clientele. He gives me work for it. And so that's a beautiful thing too. And then I don't want to, mess up that trust issue here. Um, so I can never share those things until they hit market. But oftentimes, David doesn't. David is a lot more humble than I am. So he doesn't like. And then there are certain things where I understand that I cannot share. That's just part of my research and things like that until I develop it. And so it's hard to decipher what is what I can share and what I can't. And some things it's hard for me to share and that I like to give all the information about, but I can't. I can't answer all the questions and things like that, even though I prefer to, because I have to, certain things, because they're set for a certain project. But certain things I like to share because that I don't want to share because I know that it's a way that I make my money. It's like if I don't, I can't share it because it's a workflow and it's technique that gives me an advantage that I have discovered. So those kind of things are the things that really makes me feel, it's like, dang, I love sharing, but I can't share this because I know that this is the thing that bring in the jobs for me, and I got to pay bills. So some of that is self-preservation, even though I give as much as that as I can. So that's a difficult thing for me to deal with. And so I like to get other people's point of view about that kind of thing as well, because some people don't give a crap. They don't ever want to share nothing. I obviously have a need to share and stuff like that. So I attribute that to myself. I'm just a very social when it comes to, and I'm excited about it, and I like the freedom of being able to express, and just a fun part of because it is fun, and then the joyfulness of that. So, but but it's a thin line, So it's like, you know, uh, but at the same point, if anybody gets into trouble with something and they're trying to do something, I don't expect to train them or to just do the job for them and give away all my expertise. But I also recognize the value that if somebody is just in trouble, they're working on something and they're just in a situation, then you always help that person. I've been in that situation where you might have a little piece of insignificant knowledge that somebody else needs in order to make something else happen for them, and whether it's significant or not, but the fact that they need this to get to the another level, then that I'm it's an open door for that kind of thing. But as long as it's not a thing where I'm doing it for them. So it's a hard thing to understand. Some people though, I have found, and so this is what makes it difficult. So I guess I struggle with self-preservation, so to speak, whereas some people have no problem with that. But I'm just open with that kind of thing, or maybe foolish, I don't know. But I've experienced people who have shared so much with me, or who have cared so much and who have given me so much that I just, it seems foolish, but some people have helped me so much that I just really open about that kind of thing, and I like to just give, because some people just give. I mean, there's certain. I guess it's a personal issue what people can tolerate and what they can't. Because I know I've gotten on some giving people's nerves because I ask so many questions sometimes because I'm so inquisitive. But at some point, you got to go and just say, I just got to do it myself and find out. But there's been people who have helped me through just the roughest. I don't know if they even knew the significance of the thing that they were helping me with. You know, so it's a really hard thing to judge. So just something that I wanted to put on. That's 12 minutes. That's good and long. So I share in the group. I love sharing. Um, Certain things I can't share. Nowadays, I'm getting to more of, because of my own personal projects, my own personal resource. Usually for the client, I have them as a big excuse. I'm like, well, that's client work. I can't touch it, or that's for somebody else, or that's their ideals and stuff like that, or that's a production that I've done for somebody else, or they hired me. Um, so you can't copyright or patent an ideal. I think I've come to that understanding. But workflows and things like that, some of it is very general knowledge, and so I don't mind sharing that. But some of the things that I've taken the time and spent very nice, or even years in some case, looking for a solution, those kind of things I can't share. But general knowledge, I want to share things that I want to take and use it for another idea. But there's so much nowadays that is just, people get wind of it. The thing that gets me is like, one time, like when I was on CG Talk, I posted some of my imagery into my photo book account, and they saw some of the things that I had done as paintings like years ago. Now, people who sit on there and they're just looking to take your native raw design and your native creativity, or as some people call it, swag or whatever. That kind of thing bothers me sometimes because they have no intention of giving back. They're just stealing. They just have no intention. They're not going to support you. They're not going to buy your product or nothing like that. They're not going to help you. They don't put anything back. Also, big ups to Gwen Stefani. Oh, she is just, looking at her photo just gave me goosebumps. She just gave her give back to Japan. I know, you don't do things to get accolades like that, but I had to give her accolades for that. That she had a lot of Japanese dance, not even a lot, but she's worked with that culture, and that had dancers and things like that, and have always made that part of her show. And so with with the earthquake and the tsunami, she donated $1 million. Talk about a give back. It's just beautiful. So anyway, much longer than I thought.